yesterday, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and close its way under your skin. Just got about from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit. That good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
All right, and we're live. We got Cappuccino in the camera here.
That's what we do.
How we doing, guys?
We're good.
All right, beautiful.
All right.
Well, hey, welcome into the grounds. This is, of course, the grounds. And a shout out to our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness Center. Natural Therapy Wellness Center. If you're stressed, they'll help you be blessed. Those guys, a house full of massage therapists licensed. If you have any aches or pains, or you're carrying stress between your shoulders, anything of that nature, reach out to John and his team over at www.mchenrymassage.com or give them a call at 815 something. It escapes me now. 815, I don't know. It'll come to me in a little bit. Sorry, John. And, of course, JH Events and Flowers. JH Events and Flowers. For flowers for any occasion. If you have a she shed, a he shed, whatever it may be, give them a show. What number, Mike, are you on?
One.
Number what?
Mic number one.
Let's see.
The It Shed makes it sound like, you got like a clown in your backyard. Yeah,
It could be.
yeah. Although I would pay a gardening clown.
Oh, there you go.
That would be interesting.
What number are you on?
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. Okay, there's 4. And what number would that be?
That would be number 3.
Okay, so we don't need mic 2, but that's plugged in immediately. Okay, now.
Good stuff.
now
Hello, can you hear me?
There
Oh,
you go.
hi, Cappuccino here.
Yeah. So, just trying to rail through some things here. Like, wow, no, hello, that's really echoing. All right, anyway, we're hot. So.
Well,
Excellent.
and we ran tests on that the other day. Everything was perfect.
Oh,
Ken,
yeah,
Ken sits at the thing and touches it. I don't know.
Isn't that the way it always goes, though? Your technology never works when you need it to. It's only during the test.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, how was your guys' week? What's going on?
It's been a long one.
Yeah, it was a crazy week.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. Watching my dad face his mortality has been interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, man.
Yeah, he's been in the hospital and in and out, and then this week they told him, they're like, hey, sorry, we gotta take your kidney. So you're gonna be a 70-plus-year-old man with 2 types of cancer and 0 kidneys. So he wasn't too thrilled. It's been rough for him. So
I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, it's always a tough thing to. I understand a death as a deacon. I've sat in several. I've sat in several of them. In ICU, things of that nature. So I get it.
yeah.
And it's. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of life and death, right? So I've had friends, who are ministers who that's their sweet spot, right? Is birth, life, and death. They shine in it. They're like, this is it,
They just love giving those last rites, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, don't like either one.
Yeah.
Don't fully understand either one, but I mean, I've sat with people and they're on life support and they're not there.
Yeah.
And the machines are just keeping them alive and you're just like, it's so weird.
Quality of life is key, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's just one of those things. So
yeah. It is.
That's what it comes down to, you know.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget to, if you want to be part of this show, this is the most unique show that we just sit around and chat about stuff. And really, we've got nothing. We've been so busy and life has been weird that we ran out of topics. So this week, the topic is we absolutely have nothing. But take that right
We're
there.
Seinfeld.
You're going to see... take that link, StreamYard link, throw it in your URL. Come on in and be part of the show. Shayna, good morning. Shayna says, do you think the migrant situation will result in such an ID mess we will beg for China's digital ID setup? And good morning.
And good morning to you as well.
I don't have enough coffee for that, Sheena.
I have you seen that ID setup?
No, I have not.
All right, so you guys fans of Vice at all? So Vice did an episode on the facial identification system in China.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy. So like you go to a Walgreens, the door looks at your face, identifies you within the database of people, and if you're an undesirable, it won't open the door for you. So,
cool.
And you can become an undesirable in a number of ways. Chief among them is if you just go ham on your social media, on your Facebook accounts, you post things that are undesirable, you lose points in the system, and then Walgreens doesn't have to let you in the door.
Episode of Black Mirror, to be honest with you.
It's
a little crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
So I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I am perfectly okay with that. I think that's cool. We got the technology to use it, right? Of course, being in the technology space, my face, your face. We're on so many shows and things that it's gonna be like, oh, that's cappuccino. Do not open the fucking door.
Yeah.
Listen, I come from people that don't even want an iPass.
Right. Well, yeah.
They wrap it in foil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's not too far off. It's the last time you were in Portland, Oregon.
I've never been.
Never been. So Portland, Oregon is huge for Amazon right now. They own a ton of properties and stores, locations in Portland. And something interesting is that they have that technology. You walk into a store, like a normal grocery store, convenience store, whatever. They have them around. They have like their Amazon Fresh, which is like their jewel, right? Mm-hmm. You go in, you throw something in your cart. When you take it off the shelf and throw it in your cart, the cameras are watching you, and it adds it to your total. On your way out, you put your hand down, and you walk out. Yep. It scans your hand, and it charges your Amazon the card on file for your Amazon account. And they're getting horribly robbed because if you reach up and you grab 4 of an item and put it in your cart, it sees it as one item. So that it's not working out real great for them, but the technology exists, and they're using it all over the place.
This is beta, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that'll fine tune through time, become the thing. Have you seen the mobile grocery store where it's a giant truck that drives around, creates a stationary position to where you walk in, very similar like that, and it's a mini mart, where people can come in. Then it upshifts and it drives away and goes to a different location.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Shannon says Black Mirror is dropping some serious clues. The moral of the story: comply.
Love it. Have you seen Black Mirror?
I have, yeah.
If it's the FBI guys, so she's in trouble. Here's what I absolutely love about Americans. We fucking.
Did you just say Americans?
Here's the deal. Now you've got a puppy, right?
Yes.
And here's the best thing. And here's what I'm going to say. Remember when you have a little puppy and you've got a ball and you throw it out there and the puppy goes and gets the ball and brings it back and is happy. And then you take that ball and you fake throw it. Yeah. And the dog turns around and takes off. And then it looks at you like, what just happened? That is America. We are being played by the powers that be, and they're just acting like they're just throwing a fake stick out there, and we're like, let's chase that.
Right.
We are so gullible. We are so idiotic, right? And I'm proud to be an American. I'm just saying that, if you take a look at the Civil War, right, of America. This is we are in a civil war right now. It's not the North and the South; it's the right and the left. And I'm not talking East and West, right? We are literally and Abraham Lincoln said, "Hey, if you want to, our democracy will be ruined not from the outside; it'll be ruined from the inside." And we are living that prophecy.
Oh yeah.
and it's so funny to me. And I'm not going to get into politics, but where I'm going
You
is
just did.
where I'm going is we're just a bunch of idiots that so many people think that a meme is fact.
Is news, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, a meme is meant to make fun of something.
Yep.
Mhm.
A meme is literally me in school making fun of you. Right?
Yep.
Here's how dumb you are.
It's the Gen X way.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and it's sad to say that we have lost the ability to understand what is truth. We've lost the ability to go and research the truth.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I go back and I ask questions like, well, how did I know that Encyclopedia Britannica wasn't a bunch of Steves sitting around getting high and just going, we'll make this and we'll say that this was the Oregon Trail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just made up, right?
Absolutely.
Totally.
I mean, people say that about the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a collection of stories. The guys sat around the fire trying to bring
Written and then rewritten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Written,
right?
rewritten.
So
By
how,
man.
but it was like, hey, I went to the Encyclopedia Britannica. I then got 3 other books that either supported or went against it. Depends on what I was writing. I did research. Nobody does research anymore. The research is this. I saw a Netflix documentary on this.
Now it's factual.
Now it's factual.
Right. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Santa says we shouldn't think civil people can't speak about issues that concern all. Self-censoring is toxic. Self-control, priceless. There's a lot to that.
There is.
There's a lot to that. But the sad whoever, right? The puppet masters. So we've talked about this for years and years. And
Oh,
years,
yeah.
years on this show. I mean, the puppet masters that are out there are calling the shots, and we are like a fish following the worm on the hook. Like, that's gotta be good.
We're
Yeah.
always looking for the next shiny
Well,
outfit.
and you know, then we
No doubt.
and we do talk about it, but there's this dichotomy, right? You're on the right or you're on the left, and then it's like we're gonna find the most extreme people on the right, and we're gonna show them to the left every day, and be like, this is what everybody on the right is, and we're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna show the most extreme, crazy, people on the left dressing up like cats and pissing in litter boxes, and this is what everybody on the left is. This is what everybody on the left is doing right now,
And it's in every school that I'm
right, every school in America, and then when you say memes are news, people are getting their news from memes.
So,
It's not that they're getting their news from memes. Like, I'm guilty of it. Everybody is. It's confirmation bias. I open up Facebook in the morning and I see a meme that I don't agree with, and I'm like, stupid people making stupid memes. And I see one I do agree with, and I'm like, that's got some good points. And in my head, I'm like, it's still just a meme. It's not fact, but that's that confirmation bias. I know that meme to be true,
right,
in my head, and so when I see the meme, I'm like, oh yeah, it's legit,
Yeah, but that's and that's the scary part of, and I'm glad to hear that from a young guy, right? Because I sit here, I have literally changed my entire social media algorithm, and I do it almost every month just to see if I can, right? So, like right now, if I were to scroll through my social media platform, I'd have a lot of Far Side cartoons in it. Still one of the funniest cartoons out there because it's so deep and you're like, that's hilarious. And comedians and things like that, right? I haven't, back in July, it was all about, women's basketball, the WNBA. Just about my entire feed was all W. So I just play and mess with and like and do things. I started getting flooded in August with people's idiotic political views, and I'm like, all right, I don't want these. give me women with big boobs. And now in August, I was flooded on my social media with women with big boobs.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. Let's change that. So now it's comedians.
Weird for you, or weird that your wife would find your feed?
It was all her. I didn't know. Hey, how are you?
I guess looking at it like this. So you nailed a good point, and I know. Listen, this is not a political show by any means, but I can tell you this: I like to talk about the gray area.
Yeah.
So the gray area is slowly dissipating due to the fact that people don't realize it doesn't need to be so extreme on either side.
Well, everybody's in the middle, and everybody wants to believe they're on
so
either side.
you got both sides.
Too.
You got both wings. You got right and left, and then you got we're on the plane. We're America, right? We're on a plane. In the plane, without both of those wings, the plane falls, right? Well, so if the feed that you're getting through the internet, or if the feed that you're getting through viable resources, and then people go into this panic, but that's a lot of what a lot of people want, because it keeps them confused, takes them out of that gray area. You have to believe hard to the cliff on the left or hard to the cliff on the right, but nobody realizes that nobody's really talking about the people anymore, and that's what really matters here. Listen, America is still the best country to be in. I love being in America, don't get me wrong. And do I fall to that wayside a little bit here and there? But yes.
Thanks, Leo.
I think that you turn on any of the social media now, you're getting the ditty, or you're getting right.
That was some good news right there.
You're getting all this stuff, right? But what's happening with you? What's going on in your life that's so drastic to where you can't wake up on a daily and say, I have it good. I have it good here. I dare anybody that's in America to wake up and say your absolute worst day is somebody's best day, to where you're not, having to be forced to join into a militia and kill your parents and then go to the next town and rape and pillage. I mean, somebody's always got it worse. But when you only visit here, we talk about this kind of right. You only visit here, it's what you make of it, regardless of the fact of wherever on that invisible border. People are trying to come here because of that freedom that they don't have. But people who are raised here, a lot of these people are like, wow, listen, you have the right to complain. That's America. You have the right to choose what you want. Yeah. That's the freedom that you have, and that's because of America. So don't hate America. We have what is his name? Macklemore, who on stage, right, said
it's Macklemore, not Macklemore. It's not French. It's Macklemore.
Douchebag. That's what I'm gonna say. Just says F America on stage, and then tries. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, your success is because of America. What are you doing?
Well, we talk about this a couple times on the show, and it comes up all the time. But there is, you talk about choice. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice, and you can choose. You can choose gratitude, or you can choose fear. And a lot of people, like you said, you could wake up even on your shittiest day. I could wake up tomorrow morning having a horrible day, and still in my head be like, you know what? My worst day is better than somebody else's best dream. You know what I mean? And I could wake up with that gratitude, or I can wake up and say, the other side is coming to get me, and I'm going to just obsess.
Steve, you are in my best dream. Just so you know.
I don't know how to take that.
And if that's your worst day,
neither did I in the dream.
Kent's not throwing any Diddy parties anytime soon. So.
Hey, I didn't think there was anything wrong with Sean's parties, but now that I look back on it, I was probably in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What I've been loving is watching all of the MTV commercials for the Diddy parties that aired back in the day, where they're like, ain't no party like a Diddy party. And then you've got all these celebrities that are like, a Diddy party doesn't stop until like 6 a.m. and it closes down just enough time to clean up for the next Diddy party. And you got all these, and you're just laughing. You're like, wow, this did not age well.
No, it didn't.
That fell right off the cliff. I don't even know what to say really to that, other than
I think he killed Tupac.
I think he did too.
That's my opinion. Don says Drew is so right. We
Whoa.
take for granted big.
Can you repeat
time.
that, please? Can you repeat
Yeah,
that?
Don said Drew is so right.
So
Wow.
right. Yeah.
Thanks,
Drew is Drew is so right. Drew is so right. We take for granted big time how good we have it in America. Far from perfect, but if people are not grateful, they are not helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
And Shayna rolls in and says, when you
Thanks,
are
Don.
starving, you are much more likely to reach for quick, unhealthy food. When you are full, you have the control to choose better. So many are energetically starving and reach for rage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's go where Don is at.
Okay.
Let's take Don's and let's pull that apart a little bit here. Let's peel back the layers of that onion. First of all, he says Drew is right.
Which,
focus on that.
number one,
Let's-
Don's from Texas. Texas is where it's at.
Texas.
And when Don says something, it's true to life. He's
It's
like
gospel.
Santa Claus.
It's gospel.
It's total. Yeah, it's biblical. Thanks, Don.
So the we take for granted big time, he says, how good we have it in America. I love America. And again, I've never been outside of America, so I don't know how the others live. I can only take what I've read, right? But we've had Gary from Singapore on here. And Gary, if you're listening, I hope you're well. Things are going great for you.
Shout out to Gary.
And but Gary's like, no, I can go to the store. I can say what I want. I can do this. I can't spit gum on the ground in Singapore, but nor can I sell bubble gum. But the idea is they've got just about every freedom basically that we do, right? And I always giggle because we've got it so good. Oh yeah, we've got it so good, but people get pulled over because they've been profiled. Oh,
Yeah.
we've got it so good, but I'm getting a fine from my HOA because my fence is the wrong height. Oh, but we've got it so good, but right. And so I kind of giggle when we say, "Oh, we're freedom, we got to right," and I'm like, well, in Germany they have the same freedoms.
Ish.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish. There's so listen, one of those things, and love Gary, but we're creating some kind of facts based on one guy that lives in Singapore. Go talk to like 200 of them and then come back with a common denominator, and you'll still see that there's things in America that are still better than anywhere else in the world. But I think that it's going to be based on perception. Perception is key in anything you do. So whatever he's doing in Singapore is working for him, and he's happy, and he can follow the pattern there. That's great. And there are a lot of countries that are free.
Yeah.
But then why are people still flooding to come here?
You know what? You know what I love?
Because they run cartels.
I love the expression. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Kent Jones said that.
No,
not Drew, not Cappuccino.
I love the expression first world problems because it implies that you have so much freedom and so much going right in your life because of the way that you live your life, that you have the energy to focus on things that other people wouldn't give a crap about. Right. So that's why they say first world problems. When you talk about an HOA and your fence being a couple inches too high, right? First world problems.
Rich white people.
Right. So yeah, you're experiencing a problem based off of, you're experiencing a problem that people in other parts of the world may not have to experience because, homeowners association, all they do all day, all they have to worry about is do you have a yard sign up? Is your fence the right height? Did you leave your garage door open?
How dare you cut that tree down
and
without
those are
telling us?
And those are the big problems that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. First world problems, right? But to them, it might be a huge problem because that's what they focus their whole day on.
Yeah. Well, look who's joining us now. We've shaken the tree enough that Don is falling off.
Don's here.
Grapevine.
Oh,
Don!
hey, Don.
Oh, man.
Can we actually hear Don, or you have to translate for us?
Let me.
I can hear him.
Test.
Got you, Don. Yeah, you loud and clear.
Hey, I'm here to back you up, Drew, because all these negative Nellies. I get kind of tired of all the negative Nellies. It is okay to say America is great and recognize we got a lot of screwed up stuff too at the same time. But so and you can't just talk about one or the other. You got to talk about both to some degree. But I just find it humorous that people will risk their lives to come here, and like you said, we complain about a fine from our HOA.
Right.
When people are, and obviously we have hunger in this country too, but people are walking 4 miles to get fresh water. And those are some extreme examples, but I just find it humorous. And to me, the best people to talk to that I've loved when I've traveled to, I think 47 in the United States over my years in travel. My favorite thing to do is talk to people who have immigrated here legally from other countries, because I hate to say this, they appreciate America about 1,000 times more than people who were born and raised here.
Right.
Why? They know the difference. We don't know the difference. We don't, and like Kent always says, we're just so America focused. But that most of my understanding of why we're the greatest country on earth comes from people who came here from many, many, many other countries who have told me, you guys are idiots to be complaining about your country because it's way better than most of them in the world. Yet we sit here and complain about those first world problems. This is something that gets me fired up because it is, we got screwed up stuff. We always have, we always will. But if we keep tearing down our country, we're going to lose the last kind of real beacon of freedom in this world. And then I don't even want to think about it after that. And one of the only reasons I'm glad I'm old is I'll probably be dead and gone before something.
I mean, it's
ladies and gentlemen, Don.
It's okay, Don, and you're a God-fearing man, and there are a lot of us good Americans who say that Jesus is coming right around the corner, and everything that's happening here in America is biblical.
I'm not one of those that predicts that, but some people, there's a lot of people that know probably a lot more about Scripture than I do.
Because America's suffering.
So,
America's nowhere listed in the Bible when it comes to the end of times.
So let's talk about that real quick. I know we're on that fine line with the peanut butter. But
let's just call this peanut butter. We're talking peanut butter.
It's chunky peanut butter.
So let's. What do you think? And I'll ask both of you this. All three of you this question. JC comes back.
Yeah.
What is JC going to say from everything that he sees today?
You haven't listened to me very well.
Yeah, I mean, just
that's what I think. That's what he would say. You haven't listened to me very well.
That's right.
You gotta hope that forgiveness comes out, right? Like, he comes back. You gotta really hope that forgiveness is like the front and center of the attitude upon returning, because if it's not, we're kind of all screwed. Right. There's a lot, there's a common anecdote that I love about aliens that met Jesus, and they come down to earth and they visit the Pope, and they're like, man, that Jesus guy, he's great. Every year we party it up with him. He's just the best. And they're like, what do you mean every year? They're like, yeah, every year since he visited us the first time. He always comes back. He says he loves the cookies. And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, well, the first time he came to our planet, we gave him cookies. What did you guys do the first time he came?
Killed him.
And I always love that joke.
Well, there's some truth to that. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't treat him well, but
So the question is, what? Here's what I'll say. How do we know he's not here? How do we know that he's not sitting on a mountain?
That's true.
And he's
here.
My God,
that is not him.
So number one is, and this is where I'd love to have this debate, is Jesus is God, reincarnated in man. So what is he gonna say? I don't know. I've been fucking with you guys this whole time. Right. I mean, I've been, pushing you around and making you do things because I'm God and I can do that. And you're all a bunch of idiots. And, so the idea of what would he say? Listen, here's what's going to happen. If the rapture is true, God's going to just snuff it out like the end of a cigarette. Done.
After 1,000 years, according to the Bible. Yeah. I mean, it's
Done.
after
Right?
the rapture, there's 1,000 years of not so much fun and excitement for people who don't go. So,
So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't, and here's the beauty of who I am, I guess, and my faith and my beliefs and things is I can't worry about something I can't control.
Right.
amen, brother. Amen to that.
Most of America does that.
You understand?
Most of the world.
You,
Most-
you
well, yeah, most of the
understand? You
world.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't. Every vote counts. Not here in Illinois. Doesn't matter, right?
They want you to feel like it.
Chicago's gonna. I mean,
Chicago.
right? But
Right.
anyway, so or the fact of the matter is oh my gosh, Christians are great for this as well, right? I'm gonna make you feel bad because you're going to burn for eternity because God's not. Wait a minute, you just told me God loved me and forgives me. So which is it? And the bottom line is, when I'm up there and Judgment Day is, there's nothing I can do. It's not going to be like, hey, God, I know what I did there, but listen, I made up for it with 3 others. Hold on. And because of I don't get that choice. It's not a courtroom, right? The Almighty's like, let me just snuff
There's
this
no
out.
jury. There's no jury at that point.
Next thing you know, you're going to be like, why are my balls hot?
What was that? What was that, Don?
Whoa. I just said there's no
You said
jury
not.
at that point. There is no jury at that point. Yeah. And
And at this age, it's a low fire. Never mind.
That might not be what you're thinking it is, my friend.
Oh, sorry.
I it's one of these things.
Yeah.
Because I think so far out there, but I think the existence of everything is for the experience of it. And if JC came back, he'd be like, nope, everything's working according to plan because you are here to experience it. Now, listen, when you experience things, it doesn't have to be all good. You experience it bad, you experience it good. You got free will. It's up to you to scoop off on either side of that yin that you want. And yeah, babies get cancer. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's all part of the experience. And this is the stepping. So you can't get growth in anything without some kind of pain and suffering.
Absolutely.
And we are a young race of people. We are a young planet still, considering what's out there.
Oh, yeah.
So these are growth pains. And you take what you can and experience the best you can. Now it's up to you with that free will and how you want to experience it and what you want your life to look like while you're here. Take away the borders, take away the racists, the biased, sexist. We're all brothers and sisters really on this planet. And if we were all to focus on each other, our growth pains would be minimized, but there'll still be growth pains no matter how you look at it. JC would probably be like, nope, Dad's plan's in order. I think that's how that would come out.
Yeah.
Pretty much in a nutshell.
I don't think you're wrong there at all. And what is it with the Lord?
Usually not,
You're
Scott.
talking about the non-controllables, right? That's give me the strength to worry about the things that I control. If they're fix the things that I can, and don't worry about the things that I can't. I mean,
Yeah, the
and
serenity
that's an
prayer.
epidemic in
Your
the world.
serenity prayer there.
There you go, the serenity prayer.
Yeah.
People in the world. I mean, everybody is. A good amount of people in the world are focused on this stuff that they can't control, and they're trying to control it, and they're just driving themselves mad because
100%.
they're doing all this stuff, trying to fix something or change something that they're never going to do that. And of course, they're going to get frustrated and overwhelmed and blame tons of people. I mean,
Blame everything.
right, blame everything and not themselves when that
Question
is
everything.
at the core. Pretty much everything really can come down to blaming yourself, right? Because it's not what happens to you in this world; it's how you react.
Sure,
Right?
sure. You say that on every show. But here, listen.
Yeah.
If
At least the
if
ones
you-
I'm here for.
how many people do
He's
you know
consistent at least.
to the door jam and then blame the door jam?
Everybody that does it,
Right.
right? That's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
Well,
because
if I want to pop in here, Scott, to your point, I think the challenge in our life is whether it's if our perspective is coming from a faith based, which I freely admit that's where my worldview, for lack of a better term, comes from. We all come with a worldview, whether we admit it or not. The challenge is we should not be people who stick our head in the sand and not even share what our worldview is and try to influence other people. But and I struggle with this. The challenge is to influence, but then realize that everything after that's not in my control. I don't, so there's the piece of just saying, share something with it. I always say, and from my work perspective, do your best and then trust the Lord. Sometimes I do the best part and don't trust the Lord very well. And sometimes I trust the Lord and don't do my best part very well. But it is, I think we've got to strike that balance where we can't just stick our head in the sand and pretend there aren't problems. We need to work on them. But at the same time, just let it go after that and just say, I've done what I can do. And the rest of it is out of my control. And that's easier said than done, because we want to see things better in our world. And it can be frustrating.
You said it right in chat. It was control your controllables.
Yeah, because you just get frustrated by trying to change something out of control, right?
That's right.
So,
I can attest to that.
We talk about America and how people from
America
came here and are like, this is the true dream and blah, 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 best place in the world, and blah, 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 right? And, the bottom line is what makes America great.
We're starting to ring.
Do I need to take your phone away from you?
Please do.
Is that
Don't let me.
No, I won't.
Is that
It's on the floor.
Listen,
I'm stepping on it.
we are a great nation when we were in covered wagons and trying to build something.
Were we?
Right? Yeah. That's when you had freedom, right? It's like, hey man, I don't know what's out there.
Much more
I'm
freedom.
gonna throw my wife and 17 kids in my covered wagon. We're heading west.
Yep.
We're gonna figure this out, right? And it was me and my family against the world at that point. Right?
And coming from Texas, we got a Texas guy on screen. And back in those days, life was a lot harder as well. And the freedoms that people had was eye for an eye, right? We don't get that today.
I think life was a lot simpler back then, right? It was pretty
simple.
basic.
Doesn't mean
you had to survive
simple.
every day.
Simple doesn't mean great all the time, Scott. I mean,
Well, no, that's true. It doesn't mean great,
somebody
but
just kicks in your door.
Simple but not easy. Yeah, simple but not easy.
Get away with it a lot easier.
it can back then, but I think there was a lot less to worry about as a person.
Didn't have facial recognition. Do I know you?
Didn't have facial.
Just the basics back then. Now everybody worries about stuff they can't control, but it's still in their wheelhouse.
There's always going to. That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe.
Yeah, but like
perfect.
we
There's
call,
always going to be.
We call that a great time. It's like we had freedom. That's America. But it's just like other people in other countries coming to America. If we could bring those people from their covered wagons and let them stay a night in a Hilton hotel in modern times, right. I think that they would agree that this is the better of the two times. I don't think they would want to
lift
go
up
back
the
to their
handle
wagon.
and they watch the water flow. That alone, they would be like, "Whoa,
Shayna,
what are you complaining about?"
Shayna says I'd feel better if everyone was on board with the Constitution. Stay off my lawn. I've grown up in a neighborhood where people had great lawns and were proud of their lawn. Anyway,
thanks, Kamala. We appreciate your comments.
She's on her front porch, being like, "Get off my lawn!"
But here's the truth to me, right? This is Kent's truth. Is when the fences make great neighbors, right? When I can sit in my backyard and do projects on my house or whatever the case may be, and I'm not being bothered by anybody around me, that's when America is great.
Yeah, and it used to be even better, Deke, because years ago you would have just done that. Now you're going to wait for 6 weeks, 6 months, go through a pain in the butt to get a permit to do that work on your house.
Yes, most people, you are correct.
Yeah,
permit,
right? So, but what I'm saying
Can
is,
you see it from the street? Otherwise, what
right?
permit?
And what I'm saying is, when we were great, is when our ingenuity, our creativity, when we were leaders in industry, when we were leaders in thought processes, and when we were leaders. But what happened is, just like like the Chicago Bulls of the '90s, right? Is you get so good, you get complacent, and then what happens?
Fat, dumb, and happy. I call it. We got fat, dumb, and happy.
Somebody comes up. Thank you, Shayna. I love you, and will you marry me? She agreed with me. I appreciate that.
Shayna's drunk this morning.
Yeah.
He's banned.
out there.
Eating the CBD donuts again. I see.
Don already said I was right. That's what matters.
Yeah, Don said, I heard that, and I'm like, I wish I could have been there for that.
There's only two places. There's Texas, and people who want to be from Texas, and
Right.
Italians and people who want to be in Texas.
But-
So that's really.
But here's somewhere along our timeline, we stopped going, hey, Steve, I need some help raising a barn.
Yeah.
To, well, let me pay Steve and his company to raise this barn so I don't have to, because I could literally sit on my porch rock, smoke my pipe, and drink whiskey while he's doing it.
With no
And that makes better sense to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's his choice.
To which then we started going, yeah, and Steve's like, hey, I can get that barn raised up in 3 days for $750.
Yeah. Tell your neighbors.
Tell your neighbors, you know.
Now, Steve, to take yours further, Kent. Now today, I'll wait till the government puts a barn up for me.
Correct.
Allegedly.
And no, I mean,
Allegedly.
and now it's like, I'm going to build a barn in my backyard, and the city goes, no, you're not. So now the government's in all our business. It's like, no, you can't put a barn in your backyard.
That's considered you can, but they want the taxes for it.
Yeah.
They're like, sure.
They want all their proper fees and make sure. It's
Of course.
done right, but-
Yeah, that could be. I mean, could the drop in
hitting the
testosterone
cusp of,
have more to
peanut
do
butter,
with
huh?
the drop in physical drive
Mhm.
in
Peanut
general,
butter
or
today.
is it a status?
We're
symbol?
riding the line of peanut butter.
We've been flirting with
Yeah,
peanut butter
I
all
think-
day.
I think it's chunky peanut butter, but
I was just gonna say, is it chunky?
I think Shayna I think that the old saying is, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Our bodies are built because we squat all day now. We sit. Our backs are rounded. Physical things
Only at the Diddy parties do I squat.
have changed.
We don't. Hey, we're not worried about a glass coffee table.
Allegedly.
Too soon. A glass table.
I can't wait to see Diddy's
No hobos.
homosexual come out.
Oh no!
Hey, Robbie, all the way in from Australia. Hey,
Nice.
Awesome.
What's up,
Hey, from
Robbie?
Australia.
Hey, mate. And of course, that's everybody's. As soon as you hear Australia, everybody does a bad Australian accent. So
Exactly.
I apologize, Robbie, but things are going.
Yeah, let me apologize too, because it's probably going to happen again.
It's all I know on the Bobby.
Just stop.
Another sur-
We don't want to lose Robbie.
No. And one less subscriber. Thank you. Which is great. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a drop in testosterone. I think that we have I love doing physical things, right? I've got a wood shop. I build things. I love doing that, right?
Yeah.
And there are people who are like, no need for me to do that. I mean, Drew, you and I have fun picking and then upcycling stuff and having a good time with that, right?
Creative.
Our families do, being creative and doing things. Cheers, which is good.
Awesome.
Hey, and some guy, good to see you.
Some guy, what's up, my man?
from
From
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
It's Louisiana. Thank you. All right.
Louisiana.
Shayna says, is fixing your home yourself out of fashion, or do guys not know how anymore? Confidence time. I think there's a lot of people who just don't know. They don't understand.
They don't know. Yeah,
right?
they don't know. They weren't taught that when they were younger, right? Or they have a job or a passion that they're making their money that they can pay somebody to do it so they can continue to do their job.
So
follow other
definitely
hobbies and type of thing.
And it's definitely confidence, time, money. There's a lot of factors for why you would or would not fix your own house problems. If you can pay somebody to do it cheaper and faster, and you don't have the time, sure. But I do think a lot of it is confidence. Like, are you going to rewire an outlet that's busted if you don't know electricity?
Burn down your house. Yeah.
your mouth, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anything water.
Right. I just usually call
Some guy
Scott
says,
will tell me.
pay a professional for the purposes of insurance. So hey, if that house is going to burn down, Jimmy's Electric's going to pay for that.
That's
right?
that's
So
a
listen,
fair, a very fair point. Yeah.
That's a good
And
point.
some of the things like, listen, we have Scott, right? Scott is probably one of the best home inspection businesses that I ever have met.
In the room, yeah.
He's thorough. I'm gonna be
Second best at
selling
the
soon,
table.
so I want that family friends discount.
Not the same one I gave Kent, though.
No, well, that's a Diddy party problem.
Yeah,
I don't want any part of that. I'm allergic to shrimp. Anyway, you have to follow a regulation now to when you're about to sell a house, so somebody else doesn't get these big problems. That's why people call you and they say, "Hey, listen, house is going up for sale," and then there's a code they have to go by, right?
Wow.
So,
Well, no, actually, what I do is so when you, as a person goes to buy the house, you make an offer, they accept it.
correct.
Right? I come in and look at the house and make sure it's a safe house, right? I'm not technically doing code, right? Code is enforced by the municipalities. I can point out that it's
not
right,
to code,
right? And
that's
you
what I'm
check,
saying.
right? Check further into it. So I'm basically giving you a generalized
So
assessment of the home, like going to the doctor. You know what I mean? This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But here's what it is. Now here's your list. What do you choose to do?
It's up to you at that point.
It's
So-
up to them at that point, right?
So
And that's
Shayna says, and thanks for the commercial. Shayna says, is fixing your home yourself out of fashion, or do guys not know how anymore? Confidence time. The bottom line is that I'm going to go with time. There's so much going on in my life that I can't go out there and change the spark plugs in my car. I can't change the oil in my car. I got so much going on.
you choose not to.
I've got to sit and watch Netflix for 7 hours a night. I've got to be able to binge the entire 8 seasons of whatever, right? Or I've got to run Jimmy over to soccer practice. And then from soccer practice, I got to get Jimmy over to piano lessons. And then after piano lessons, we're going to eat. And then I've got to get on a call, right? So
Scheduling and busyness, man. I get it.
So it's time. But the bottom line is this. All of a sudden, somebody goes, well, it's easier for me to just drive my car over a hole at Jiffy Lube and sit there for 10 minutes and pay somebody $75 to do something that would cost me, I don't know, $15. Not anymore.
Well, that's
Oil's
where the
pretty
person
high.
has to make a choice whether they want to do it or spend the time to do it, right? I mean, and that's the thing. Your time is valuable.
But I don't think the
Right.
knowledge is what it used to be. My parents taught me a little bit of everything.
Right.
I can, adjust and light a pilot light. I can fix an outlet. I can do a lot of little things. I'm not a professional at anything, right? So if it goes beyond, thanks, Ken. If it goes beyond
That was in the other
anything
direction,
that's
if you couldn't tell.
into a severe zone, I would pay somebody to do it. But we had a time where kids were having kids and they didn't know how to do things, so they're not passing that down the line. And kids today don't have any interest in doing that. They're moving differently into the world of today.
It's
And
definitely
I
a
think
different environment.
every parent wanted their kid to grow up to be a CEO. Nobody wants to be in a trade anymore. They don't realize that there's good money in trade.
That's what Robbie's saying down in Australia.
Right.
We don't have enough trade workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same here. Here in America. They for years they made it seem like if you were a tradesman or a blue collar worker that you were nothing.
Yeah, we spend
Right.
generations telling kids
And then
blue
you couldn't
collar
make
was
a good
bad.
living, and I'm here a perfect
Well-
example to show you that you can, because for most of my life I was
A tradesperson, right, Scott?
blue collar,
A sex worker.
Yeah,
Right. I got it.
Well, he couldn't make a living doing that though, Drew. He couldn't make a living doing that.
I was a route salesman. I sold drugs everywhere.
I mean, I've done just about every job, right? I mean,
Just
my
about.
parents raised
So here's
when I raised
the
up my
best. Here's
parents-
the best thing that I love. For most of my life, but he's the guy who owns 2 houses, 18 cars, 17 businesses, 35 rentals. I'm blue collar.
Yeah, but where I came from,
CBD and sex shop.
What was
Don't
that,
forget
Kamala? Say that again, Miss
He
Sarah.
built it on a blue collar. He built it on a blue collar work ethic, though, is what I think you're saying.
So hold on, Don. What did you
Hey,
say?
hold on, I gotta answer back to this guy over here.
Hold
Like,
that
what
thought.
the
I
heck?
want to hear what you said.
I was going to answer for you. I'll defend you.
We got
I
some
would say-
turmoil here on the
No,
ground.
I
this
just
morning.
think it's funny that he says that, because literally as I was growing up, right, like my dad worked a lot, taught me things, right, and to be able to do things myself, and said it's your choice as to what you want to do. Find something that's going to make you happy, or find something that you can make money at, so then you can do the things that make you happy when you're done working, right? And I did. I was talking with quite a few people in the last couple of weeks just about jobs and things in this nature. And I've done just about every literally shitty job you can do. I used to work at a shit plant. I've been there and I know it, and I've made that choice.
Do they have a glass table?
And they didn't. But I mean, I've tried everything. I've experimented, and I realized, hey, this was not worth my time, or this was worth my time. And I had that choice, just like everybody else does. At the end of the day, it is your choice. Yes, we all have different circumstances, and there might be some things that make it a little bit harder for you, but you do have that choice, right? And if you make that choice, you have to go at it and stick with it. And a lot of people these days will try to, choose a path and do it 5 times and be like, oh, I can't make it happen. Well, no, you need to do something 1,000 times, to make it happen. And people give up. There's a lot of people want quick, instant success, right? I'm a overnight success of the last 35 years.
So yeah, you're right. But
growing.
Growing,
right.
Some guy down there in Louisiana says, I wasted 3.5 years of my life obtaining 2- and 4-year degrees. And I'm like, 2 and 4, that's 6, 3.5. Anyway, but you're right.
Associates and
but that's now the American dream.
But here, hold on.
Go to school, get you a degree, get in debt $350,000. Right. Come out of school with that degree, which is awesome, and not work in that field.
Right. Well, I was just going to say the one thing about what he says there,
dream.
that you did do that. And the one thing some guy, I don't know your name, but you have that education now. Nobody can ever take that from you. Nobody can ever take that from you. It's up to you to choose what you do with that education, right?
He's an Asian from Louisiana. Some guy.
But it's not what he's gonna. It's not what he's gonna do.
But he's got that knowledge. Nobody can take that from him.
So what do you got, Don?
What he decides to do.
I was just having trouble getting in, so I thought I'd type that in. I wanted to say a couple things about Scott, and I've supported Drew, and I'm going to support Scott. I think, Scott, you built what you built on a blue collar type work ethic and jobs. It wasn't because you went to Harvard and got a $200,000 job out of school. So I think that's the distinction is, you are now successful in terms of financially probably, but it was built on a work ethic. And then this Robbie talking about the degrees, one of my favorite memes over the internet recently, because I think there's a shift that's making it okay to be in the trades, is the one where it shows the line worker up on the electric pole. And then it shows the guy that has the psychology degree, and it's the line worker cutting off the electricity for the guy that had the degree because he can't afford to pay his bills because he can't get a job.
Yeah.
But I like that. I mean, it's obviously meant to be funny, but it sends a message too. It's okay to be the guy on the line and not be the guy that went to get a psychology degree 4 years at a prestigious university.
A good friend of mine said that every man has to have a toolbox full of tools. Now, some of them may be hammers, saws, whatever, or you open that toolbox and there's a checkbook, and that's your tool.
There's a bunch of different
It's a good tool.
Something that you have to build or fix with. Your toolbox could be what you learned in school. Or in
Robbie says down under, 30 years ago, tradies drove old bomb cars, old junkers, and now they're driving $150,000 cars.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Bricklayers get paid by the brick, like $5 a brick. And some guy, he's working in petroleum, right? In petroleum, a commodity, which is good. And then Shana says, anyone know an undiscovered 18-plus-year-old in the area with a great work ethic and talent with operating equipment? A mentor and career for the right fit must like dirt.
A
job description application. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Must like dirt. That's on all of my job ads.
Well, that was the one thing that I used to hear all the time when I was growing up is the world needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah.
You're talking about college. It's like, well, it's not for me. Well, the world needs ditch diggers too. And I'll tell you what, some of the best, most sincere and hardworking people are blue collar people, and some of the happiest people, right? Because they go to work, they put their time and they do their job, and they come home happy because they're not just so messed up and gargled up in with this idea of having to have everything, or scattering 20 different ways like a lot of us do, right?
If they're in America, they're still messed up and jumbled up because
everybody messed up a little bit.
That's what marketing does. That's what it is.
I don't know.
I don't even drink, but I go through eight cases of Coors, and every time I crack it open, I'm waiting for bikini-clad women and a train to roll through my garage. That shit doesn't happen.
That's
because you have been Americanized.
I'm still in the suburbs, no mountains.
No mountains.
Flat land, lots of taxes.
But I agree with Don's observation on the workforce here. That's 100% accurate as well.
Yeah.
I like how Don can't get a word in anymore. He's got to go back to chat. And you know,
I
listen,
work both angles.
Loudmouths in
if
there.
everybody likes what they see here today, make sure you go to that YouTube channel there, like, share, subscribe. Grounds is 7:30 a.m. CST here in America every Friday. Feel free to join, and we like seeing the new faces coming in. New guy, we appreciate you coming, Robbie.
That's some guy. That's some guy.
Some guy.
He's Asian.
Some guy.
From Louisiana.
We're
Robbie says,
we'll go with that.
My family, we're all in the building industry. I chose the music. Oh, cool. And Robbie, listen, we've got some killer music programs here on the piano. We, if you caught it last night, if not, go to our YouTube page. But we just had Thomas Claxton on. It was a great
He's
show.
awesome.
And reach out to us. Give me a shout at Kent at 216thenet.com. I'd love to talk to you. We could probably get some of your music or some of your. We'd love to interview you. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
But still cut dead end job jokes and the customers require. First name Some.
Yeah,
Not new. Some guy. Last name Guy. Yes, sir. Drinking Bud Light alone in my closet. Shane says, "LOL."
Oh, man.
there you go.
And this morning,
I kind of.
Drew hit it on the head.
Then she looks.
We need to get her help. We need to get her help immediately.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll today. Obviously, I'm just gonna do one of these.
Well, Kent, you started out blue collar, right? I mean, you were swinging a hammer.
It's wearing a blue collar right now.
Well, yeah, so am I, but I mean,
It's buttoned up to his neck. It looks like
Right,
it's choking
but
the
I
shit
mean,
out of it, but he's wearing a blue collar.
You started out, you did the thing, and you made your choice. You moved.
I'm not a hairy chest out guy. Scott is. I don't.
Yeah, he's like a 1970s
You want to
porn
see the
fanatic.
porn stuff hanging?
Yeah, why don't you unbutton another button for us there, bud?
Yeah.
That'd be no. That'd be no.
You guys,
Not your pants.
I don't want to
We're
get you guys
talking
inside.
Wait,
you know what?
He's wearing pants? That would be a
You know,
first.
Scott-
I forgot to put them on as I ran out the door.
Scott
this morning.
Scott was late today, and I meant to ask, how was the bowling tournament?
It was great.
Actually,
Charlie Sheen and I.
I love that shirt, bro. I was like, that's
Thank
a
you.
good.
No, it's a
Charlie
great
Sheen
shirt.
and I went to the same place, baby. I
Nice.
actually bought this for an adult conference.
That's winning.
It was the old bowling shirt committee.
It beats what you did last year. He had the nipples out and everything. It was weird.
I just cut the shirt
He
out.
just walked in. He's like, dress me like a 70s swinger. And they're like, I got you.
Got
Say
you.
no
Wait a
more.
hey, Tom Selleck called. Wants his shirt back. Listen,
You need to grow a mustache. You can pull it off.
I mean, I was
drives a
wondering.
Ferrari out front.
I was wondering why the red Ferrari was out front.
Oh, man.
No, he's blue collar. He only gets the shirt. He doesn't get the Ferrari.
You're right. Yeah, no.
And it's not going to be blue. It's going to be a little bit off.
A little off.
You can't afford the real blue.
I mean, for me, the bottom line is, and again, I listen, and Robbie, I absolutely love you being on. I always was like, man, it'd be cool to go to Australia just to watch the toilets go the other way. But then I'm like, I've seen some of them fucking flying spiders. And
Dude,
they're
yeah.
like
They
the
got-
size of Volkswagen
Right.
Beetles. And
Right.
I'm like,
Died
taking
by
my
a
ass down
caterpillar
under.
from,
you know, if you go out to the outback, I'm not going out to the outback if I go to Australia. Like, I'm going to Brisbane. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to the city. There's not like giant spiders climbing in your face.
well, ask Robbie. He'll tell you.
I watched an Australian guy comment on like puddle alligators in the South in America, and they're like, say what you want about Australia, we don't have alligators that live in puddles down here. Like this is ridiculous. Like, what kind of gnarly nonsense is this? Yeah.
Hey, listen. Oh, so those big ass spiders go, well, it's getting a little too close to the city. Let's stop right here.
Oh yeah,
They know to stop.
oh, they know.
They know there's a law.
They got a geo tractor. What's
That's right.
Yeah,
The
that's
geo
it.
wall.
Hey,
Right.
Robbie spent some time in Monterey, California. So
Lucky you, beautiful place.
Yeah.
That's
I've
very
never
beautiful.
been to Monterey.
That's
They don't
beautiful.
have-
They do have good cheese, Monterey cheese.
Well,
Monterey Jack.
we've been to Anaheim. It's about as far as
You guys
it's
are
gone.
close. You guys are
I've
close.
been to
Anaheim's a little
a couple
rough.
places out in Cali,
Yeah.
right?
Going back to Cali.
Yeah, it's weird out there too. Thanks for.
I don't think so.
But see, to me, the bottom
If
line
Denny's
is
watching, you're in trouble. So just relax.
See,
No, it doesn't matter.
And this
You
all
got some
started
kind of talent
because-
in a sex shop, you're done.
and this whole conversation started because Steve's dad, and I apologize.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
I mean, it really took a left turn.
That's what happens at the grounds.
There's nothing.
As the coffee is continuously drank,
And
right?
your brain wakes up. And you
Is
go,
that
"Wait,
how we
I
started
used to
today?"
admit
Like-
this
Is that where we
associates that."
came from?
We started on the lows.
Well, I know. You know what's funny is I'm driving in here. I'm listening to you guys talking. I'm like, why am I not sitting there with these guys? This
That's
is
a good
up
question.
my alley.
Right.
Well,
why?
let me tell you why. Technology failed me
Oh, okay.
because I
Yeah.
forgot to plug it in.
And it's easy.
But it was
to
my
do
choice.
This there, Scotty.
No,
boy.
it's me. I forgot to plug it in. I was just
Robbie
tired.
does miss the great food here in America. I can say that too.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was
The two tons of it you get, the 2 tons we eat at each sitting.
Yeah, we're not
No,
we're
it's
not
good.
around
No, it's
because we
good.
don't like that food. I mean,
It's one of our best episodes. Look at this.
you get down there.
I know.
You
because
get
I
down
wasn't
there.
here.
You get down there to
No.
Texas and get that brisket going. I mean,
Ooh,
hey, you know what
that
I'm
is they do the brisket good down here. I've learned that. I'm a Kansas City barbecue guy. That's where I grew up. But I tell you, there's no better brisket than Texas. So that I have to admit.
Yeah,
now
Robbie-
we got to go to Don's house for a while.
Robbie, shoot me.
Bring
me
a sleeping
your,
bag.
Shoot me your address and I'll mail you some
I
Marie
do.
calendars.
I do want to throw this comment in because when I was coming in, you guys
Yeah.
made this statement, and Drew, you were defending it really well. And we are. America still is the greatest country out there, right? And it's all of our perception. You're talking about people waking
Yeah, I mean,
up.
it's so great. Robbie went back
Yeah,
to
that's right.
Australia.
Right.
But, you know, people wake
We
up
got
here.
Chili's and Marie calendars.
Statement with Robbie.
Hey, Deke, he was in California.
People. It's human nature. People choose to look at it on the negative side. As a general rule, I feel that most people are more pessimistic in this world, and it's easy to change. I mean, Kent and I have talked about it quite a bit about just looking at things from a different perspective, especially when you first wake up. That sets the tone for your entire day, right?
Listen, the people, you and us sitting around this piano say, yeah, absolutely, America's the best. That's like me saying, well, my kids are perfectly great. All 4 of them, best kids, and you don't have kids. These are the best kids,
Yeah.
right? That's because we live here, right? If we lived in Sweden, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is the best here, hey, yeah.
Oh my
Right?
God!
That's Norway, not Sweden.
Wait. How would it sound if they lived in Australia?
Well, number one, Robbie
Sorry,
says
I just murdered that.
Robbie says the women loves us. So that's all.
Yeah.
Right.
There you
That's
go.
all I read.
Yeah.
Feel free to explain more.
Or
Explain
send
more.
pics.
Send people over.
Or
Come
send
visit
pics.
us.
That's
Send
it.
pics.
Right.
I don't know.
But here's the thing: is I
That's
don't.
it.
A lot of people here. I don't have
Good day.
too much to judge.
Good. I love this guy. He's awesome. Good night, mate.
Good day, mate.
There you go.
But I mean, I don't have anything other to choose or to judge it from. I've lived here my whole life. I know when I go on vacation someplace, even if it's in the States, to a different state, right? It's different because you're in a different state of mind, right? If you go someplace, this is so much better
And
here.
the show's over to get that deep. We're at a minute. We're
Is that
at
1
2 minutes.
But you know what I'm saying? You don't have much to compare it to. And if you compare it to going on vacation, it's always going to be great because you don't have your normal worries and headaches and shit
No,
going
you
on.
have more of them because you got such an itinerary. It's like, oh, we got to do it.
Potentially, but you don't have any
I got to do this. I got to do that. I
Stuff
got to do
that's
this. I gotta do
bugging
that. I
you
got to make
every
sure I
day.
get on plane.
Well, number one, Don, we do have accents to people that aren't from here, but yes,
I've always wondered what we sound like to them. We know that Aussie accent so well. What do we sound like? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you joining
Listen.
in the accent mode?
Listen,
I was trying to be as bad as him.
everybody down in Texas probably looks at you, Don, and goes, "You ain't from here, are you?"
Yeah.
I do get that on occasion.
I reckon I'm gonna kill you with it.
You know,
I don't speak with a southern accent that I'm not packing. So.
But here's the
Great
funny thing.
fried
When I go
taters.
back to Iowa or whatever, people are like, "Man, you're from Chicago." I can really hear that. I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I don't even have it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we have
I
a
know.
Oh, we've
What
got
are you
the
talking
accents.
about? And it's I guess it's so prevalent.
It's
like,
but
okay.
it is always interesting hearing somebody be like, "Oh yeah, the Australian women love your accent." And it's like, well, the vice versa as well. I mean, obviously, like,
Well, it's like the South, right? So
we love
some
the
guy down
Australian
there.
accent.
Listen, all the women sound sexy with that Southern accent. All the men sound dumb.
Tell their
Yeah,
until they're bitching at you, then it ain't sexy.
So you saying I have a chance?
That's it.
Uh,
That's that's it. But listen, the truth is, and thanks for tuning in. We absolutely love everybody. A big shout out again to our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness,
Amazing people.
McHenryMassage.com, 815-881-891-08 something. I don't even know.
8675 for you.
There goes our sponsor.
That's right. John's be like, done.
When I lived in McHenry, I used to go there, and they're awesome. So
They are-
I can't
they
go.
are
It's hard to
amazing.
get there now, but I give a thumbs up to them.
Testimonial
Testimonial from Dallas. Yeah.
And then our good friends over at JH Events and Flowers. Jen and the team over there, 2 locations, one in Fox Lake, one in McHenry. But if you've got a man shed, a she shed, if you've got a man cave, if you need flowers for anything, today's $5 Friday at both locations. Stop in and get a $5 fresh cut bouquet and brighten anybody's day. And then just want to send a big shout out to my daughter Colette. Tomorrow turns the big deuce. So
Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah.
Wow.
and then on
Watch out,
Wednesday,
world.
and on Wednesday of next week, a big shout out to my other daughter, Ashley. She'll be 28.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, you're an
28.
old fart, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of good things happening. If you go to a bar and the girls hear you talking, you'll get flooded by girls.
Oh, we're going to Australia.
Everyone has a spring.
Just kidding, honey.
The grounds from Sydney next week.
Live from Sydney.
Scott just got divorced.
He's probably happy.
That made him.
Take him.
Listen, we can't thank everybody enough for hanging out with us as we talked about absolutely nothing, everything, some chunky peanut butter, all the way to our good friends in Australia. Robbie, I really love you for being in, but
Yeah,
seriously,
thanks for tuning
send
in,
me an
guys.
email at kent@216thenet.com. Would love to talk to you about your music and how we can get you on our platform. We'd love to do that. And thanks for joining. And next time, all the way from Australia, my friend, you can throw that link into your URL, and you can come live like Don did right
Yeah, we'd
there.
love to have you tune in with us.
That'd be
man.
cool.
We really enjoy
Yeah.
different people talking in and different perspectives. That's what makes the grounds and this just so much more enjoyable.
There is a new show.
Then you'd have people from 2 different countries, Australia and Texas.
That's right. International.
Please check out our new show.
Represented.
Please check out our new show that's coming out. The Stories of the Paranormal. The pilot's already out there. Check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's about paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
These three kids that are running it are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're
Cool.
ghosts.
Yep.
Anyway, we got to run. Can't thank you enough. Today, new show with In the Know with Steph and Joe coming up at 3. They are going to be talking about small business owners. Are you just talk about it, or are you being about it? Right. So there's a lot of business owners who do a lot of talking, not a lot of doing. So good stuff. Good stuff. So for all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, we can't thank you enough. Don, bless you. I hope you have a great
See
week.
you guys.
Shayna, as always, happy Friday, and keep being you because you make this world wonderful. And for all of us, you got it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We certainly appreciate you spending time with us every Friday here on the grounds. Like Kent said, please check us out. All the other shows we have on are just a great platform for people to come in here and go out there, be the change you want to see in the world, guys. We love you. Thank you for tuning in and appreciate you.
See you next Friday.